This is code.org and it is Asphalt Art Project Today. I'm really excited for this project. It is a fun lesson. Alright, to get started, we do need to import painterplus.java. I hope you have that. And I am going to be using background painter as well. If you're going to use pattern painter, make sure to import that as well. Bam. Alrighty. And that's looking good to me. So now what I'm going to need to do is write your new subclass. What they have as first, or what they have as start with is writing that subclass. Now, my end result will be able to paint something like this. At least, I hope so. It's me! Okay, it's not me. I don't have that much hair. Whatever. It's close! Kind of. Anyways, to do that, I want to create a new Java file. So I'm going to do new, and I'm going to call this face painter. Because, you know, paints a face. Eh? Alright. And now, I need to set this up. So, code.org.neighborhood. If you're not sure how to set up a new class, students, please use your resources, right? We have several examples. Oh yeah, I need to import everything from the Painter package. This enables us to use Painter and Painter Plus methods as well, right? So if we want to move or paint or turn right, we want to use that. So, even though the asterisk would be everything in a package, that's beside the point. Now, what else? We need the actual declaration of the class right here, okay? So for that, or the class signature, I'm going to actually literally copy this. This can be technical, right? And I'm going to paste it. Bam, bam. Oh, but no, I'm using resources, and these are details that you don't need to get wrong. So public class, and we do need to know this, but efficiency is also nice. So public class, now it can't be Painter Plus. My class is Face Painter. And it's not going to extend Painter Plus. It needs to extend, it's not going to extend Painter. It's going to extend Painter Plus. That way, everything Painter Plus can do, all of this stuff, turn right, yada yada yada, Face Painter will be able to do. Also, since everything Painter Plus can do, since Painter Plus can already do everything Painter does, Face Painter will also be able to do everything Painter and Painter Plus does. Alright, now we need a constructor, which is just public, same thing as the class name, Face Painter, boom boom, and now what goes in here? Super. Why super? We need to tell the computer when we instantiate a new object, what else we need access to. And the computer says, what the heck is super? And goes schmack. Oh, I also need to give you access to all this stuff above it, to the super, to what it's built upon. Alright, cool. We got the basics down here. Now, I want to get going on code. Before we spend too much time writing move a million times, which we will do, right? Obviously, I'm going to need to move around the screen, or paint over and over again. I want to show you a bit of a shortcut. Well, first, actually, let's show you why this is nice. Let's go ahead and do public void paint hair, right? Boom, boom. Now, what do we actually need for a paint hair method? Well, I need to move, right? And I need to paint, Mr. Kaiser. I need to do it however many times do you have this? 4. Okay, let me slam this code in here. Oh, and we need a color. Okay, that's really fast, but you can see what's going on here. 4 times, I don't know. Bunch. Alright, let's see if it works. I'm headed back to my neighborhood. I need to go ahead and instantiate my class, right? So face, painter, and I'll just stick with our naming convention, my... Bam. And then we need to give our painter some paint. And we've seen this a million times, but we know that we have access to this method because it is in the painter class. So we can do this, set paint, and we need to give it an integer. And I'm going to do a huge number, like 1,000, just so I don't run out. Okay, now we want to test the method we did. And hair color, brown, I guess. I know, I'm creative. Let's see if I broke anything. Cool, yep, that works, although I do need to go one more. This is ridiculous. Doing all of this, we don't need to, right? I also have an issue just technically with this. is that code should be reusable. And this method, you could run into something. What if they run it right here? Well, now they just broke your program. We don't want them to be able to do that so easily. So first, I want to solve that problem. What would do it is using can move, right? Every time before we take a step, we do if can move, bam. So if I can move, then I will let myself move. So let me show you what that would look like. This is even more ridiculous. This is so much code. So we should use methods that will perform the same logic and make code easier to move. Read. If I know that almost every time I'm going to move, I want to check first so I can prevent an issue of them breaking my program, I'm going to make a method. Public void. And I'm just going to call this move1. And the only difference here is I'm going to do an if in it. So before I'm allowing them to move, I'm just going to always say if can move, then I'll move. All right? So now, instead of running it like this each time, I can just use my method name. Because when I write move one, it knows, oh gosh, I got to go find out whatever that code is, plop, and we'll run through this. So let me get this replaced. All right, that's a bit better. I still hate this. I hate this because, again, look at all these copying and pasting we are doing. It's just not needed. So I'm going to do a few things now. I want to move 2. And who knows, I might keep making these, but for now this will be sufficient. To move 2, I'm going to do move 1, shockingly, twice. And why am I doing it twice? Because we need to move 2. Now, just a quick reminder what it happens when code with methods runs. What will happen for this is when I say move 1 right here, the computer says, I have no idea what that is, and starts to look. And it goes smack. It finds this and goes, gotcha. So I gotta check if I can move. Can move responds true or false. It says, hey, painter, can you go forward right now? And if I'm standing here, right, I can. So that is true. With this being true, the computer must run this. I have to move. Now, if this was false, I couldn't move, the computer would have to skip move. It would never be allowed to run this. But since it would be true, I could go ahead and take a step. I then hit the bottom of this if, and then the bottom of this function, or this method, and now it's over, so now I would go back and run the line below it, which is paint. Next, I would run the function again, so on and so forth. That's what's happening here. Move 1, runs it, checks full steps. All right, move 2 does both. Now, I also want similar functionality for paint, right? If I'm going to move 1 and paint a lot, difference with this is that it has the parameter color. And what I need in this is move 1 and paint. Now, you might even want something like checking if there's already paint there. I don't need that. Okay, same deal now. Okay. And now paint 1. So what this is going to do, and this goes on a bit of a journey, guys, but I want to point this out. So what I will be doing here is when I run paint here, hair right now over here and say brown, I go back over to here, and what is color? Brown. So I paint with the color brown. I'm about to eliminate all of this. Let's consolidate it, because now I have paint 2. And it looks like I could also do 1, 2, 3, 4, paint 6, but I don't want to. Yeah, this is going to be fine. I'm fine with this. You can keep going if you want, but paint 2. Okay, and then I need to give it this color. Okay, so what it's doing is when I run paint hair now, it says, oh, paint hair, I gotta go find this. Smack. Oh, brown. Now what it does, and this is a few steps, it runs this, it says paint 2 color. Oh, okay. Where is that? Paint 2. Okay. Paint 1 color. Okay. Well, this is still brown. This is still brown. Paint 1 color. Okay, what do I do? I see if I can move. Move 1. Can I move? This is true. I move 1. Then what do? I paint that color. Plop. Now what? Well, now I have to go back down to here, right? Because I just ran paint 1, and now I need to run paint 1 again, because I painted 1 square, zoop, and that's back here. I can't even see it now. So now that would be right back here. And once again, I have to say, move forward 1, can you? And so it goes, zoop. Yep, I can. I would move, I'd plop here, and then color, what was that color? Brown. It would then jump back to here, and it's done. So that's why I'm doing it 3 times. Let's see if it works. And again, guys, I could name this paint 6 if I wanted to, and then have this be 6, or I could keep going here. I am fine with what I currently have. So let's move it along. Now, I want to do some hair. So I'm going to have my painter turn, and actually, no, I'm lying to you. I want to do eyes. So, keeping in mind with this image, I guess I'll do sideburns. Fine. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and say paint right sideburn. Okay. And it's paint, so I'm going to need a color here. Let me make it so I can see this. And that's just going to be the parameter string color. All right. And now for this, since I know where the painter will be when this is getting executed, I'm going to go ahead and say, and then what? Move 1. Oh no, I can go ahead and paint, right? Because for my paint, I will move 1 automatically, and then I paint. So when I paint, I am moving 1 square down before doing so. Okay. So now that I turn right, I can say paint 2. Because I'm automatically taking a step. I already wrote that into my program. Alright. Paint right sideburn. Now, I'm going to go over here, and we might combine this all later, but I'm going to go paint right sideburn. I'm going to pick a different color just so we can see where it's at. Cool. All right, that's one sideburn. Now I want to move on to eyes. So I'm going to turn right and move 1. And I might do both eyes together. Yeah. Okay, paint eyes. So from here, I need to go ahead and say, turn left, plop, and then move. And then what? Well, now I need to move again, because I'll be facing this way, and I need to turn again, so that would be a... Oh, this should be turn right. Hopefully that gets us into the right spot. Let's see. That does. Because, again, I want my eyes like this. So I'm already on the square that I want to paint. I don't want to move. Yeah, actually, let's change this up. So since I'm already here, and all of my painting, keep in mind, each time I paint, I move, then I paint. Instead of doing it like this, I'm going to go ahead and say, paint 1, color. Oh, nope, not color. Paint 1, white. So I'm going to make the top of the eye always white, just like this. All right, so paint 1 white, then turn left. Now, once I turn left, I can then again move and do, and remember, paint 1 moves before it paints. Paint 1, color, whatever color they want. Cool, that is looking good to me. Now the next eye. So I might, no, I'll go ahead and leave it like this. All right, now what? Turn right, and then move 2, I believe. 1, 2, yep. And let's see where we're at. Boom. All right, so now I need to move forward 1, but I want to paint that square. That will be the bottom of the eye. So now, paint, color. Paint 1 color, turn right, and then I should be able to do paint 1 white. So basically, the reverse of this, right? Instead of turning left, let's see if I did something. Cool. we got 2 eyes. All right. Next up, should I do mouth or sideburn? I don't like the backtracking. Let's go ahead and do a sideburn, then down to mouth. So I'm going to go up here to this right sideburn, and honestly, I'm going to public void paint left sideburn. Okay. And so what do I need to do to get up to the sideburn part? I'm going to say move. Oh, nope. Move 1. Because I know I can check then. Because every time I run move 1, keep in mind, it automatically checks that I can move. And that will prevent errors. Move 1 and then turn left. And then move. Oh, no. Because we're going to be facing this way. So I want to paint 1. And then what do I want to paint? Color. And then I'm going to turn left, and I need to paint 1. Oh, I got to go over here and run that. Cool. That is looking great. Now what do I need to do? I'm going to need to go ahead and paint the mouth. So I need to public void paint mouth. And I know right away to do this, I'm going to need to move 3. Did I make that? I don't think I did. Dang it. All right, so I'll make a move 3. And again, just for clarity, I'm going to use move 1 several times. I could use move 2 and move 1. Up to you. Cool. All right, move 3. So I'm going to go here, move 3, plop, 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 and I want the mouth. So I need to, after that, turn left. And now, once I turn left, I should be able to move 4, or paint 4, which I don't have. I could make a paint 4. I'm just going to do 2 paint 2s. Paint 2, color, paint 2, color. Okay, and now, so for mouth painting, we got the move 3, that should put us here. And then we're going to turn left, right, left, right, So 1, 2, I'm going to count this out, 3. Turn left, which would be this way, because it's the character's left, the painter's left. And then we have paint 2, which is hopefully this. And this. Let me check my fancy reference image here. Is that where I want to smile? It is. All right. And yeah, let's give this a shot, actually. Green. Yeah. Okay. So, this is looking awesome. Now, I mean, terrifying, but awesome. Now, what is left? Obviously, we're going to need to do the face, the background for the face. Now, that I'm going to do by editing the background painter class. And so the only thing that would be left is to do the neck. And to do that, I need to move down and paint these 2. So we know where we're at. So I'm going to go ahead and turn right. Move 2. And then once I move 2, I should have to turn, if I'm facing this way, I'll have to turn right, hopefully. And then paint 2. With whatever color. And I am going to do purple. Let's see. Huh? Huh? It's exactly the same, eh? Eh? Okay, looks nothing like it. But we got to get the skin tone down, and we got to fix these colors. So let's actually, let's go ahead and fix these colors now. There is, for the face, I'm debating what I would like to control the color of the most. So the person using this class has the option to design a character like this, right? They can run each one of these commands. However, I should point out that the commands must be run in order. So that might prove difficult if they don't already know the order. So I'm going to go ahead and create one more that is public void paint. Face painter, my face painter. Paint face. It works. Okay. And now to do this, the color will only decide, I'm thinking, the hair, which means these will be the default values if they're going to only run this one function. Now, where am I going to get this logic? Right here, right? It's going to be the same commands. So I'm going to copy all of that, run over here, and paste it. The problem is I have to get rid of this. I no longer need to use my instantiated class. I'm inside the class and can call these methods directly. Okay? And so now this will just create the face we have. Like I said, I'm going to use color for hair, and then the rest I'm going to pick in advance. What did I do? Okay, I'm going to pick these colors. Ooh, should we have the sideburns be... No, because we're making them at different points. And then I'm just going to do tan for the neck color. I could also make the person wearing a collar. Alright, so now I can use this paint face to replace all of this code. And again, I still have the option to do all of this separately. But let me get rid of all this. Haha! It's a floating face! Identical. Alright, so we need to now... Oh, this is our custom class. So I'm going to go ahead and hit finish on this and move forward so we can start editing so we can add functionality to an existing class, which is another one of the requirements. This is code.org, and this is Asphalt Art Project Day 2. Alright, so we have some code here, made a face previously, part of one, and now the goal of this section of the lesson is to add to or edit an existing class. Let's go to the rubric real quick. And now that I've magicked my way here, what I'm talking about, existing class. So we need to use one of the existing classes. I'm going to use background painter to create part of our component. We also, to have extensive evidence for they, need to add a new method to one of the classes and use it to create components. And that is what I'm going to do. So with background painter, here's the goal, pada. So I've already imported background painter. This just says the same. And let's go ahead and demonstrate what it does by instantiating a background painter. And now I need to give the background painter paint, just as I did with the face painter. And it has access to this same method because this method is part of the painter class. And then I'm actually going to comment out this for now, because we're just testing my background painter. I'm going to try sky blue. Typing too fast. Okay, cool. So that's working. And we are going to need a background painter. However, I also want to utilize this background painter to paint the face itself. And what I mean is everything but here, none of this. So what I'll call this is paint background with border, because the face is everything but the border of the background. All right, so let's head over here. And that being said, I kind of already know the logic then. I will be naming it something similar. I'm calling this paint bordered background. Now what do I need to do? I'm going to start off by moving, because I don't want to paint this side. So first, I'm going to take a step. And then, and guys, like I did in the previous section, every time I move, I'm going to want to go ahead and check that it's possible to prevent errors. So I'm going to create another function, public void, move one. And all this is going to do is if can move. Simple as that. And instead of doing if right here can move, I can just do move 1. Cool. All right. Now, as long as I can move south, because I don't want to paint if I can't move south, right? If I can't move south, that is a problem. We want this row blank. We also want this row. This row won't matter as much, but we can prevent it by doing turn right, move 1, turn left. Okay, so that should take us down to here now. And now, what are we going to want to do? Well, paint the row. So as long as I can move south, if I can move, I want to move and paint the row. If can move, I'm actually going to paint first, because remember, I'm going to step here. I want to take a step to avoid painting that first area. Paint. Okay. Now, if I cannot move, right? So when can I not move? I could not move here. And so if I cannot move, I want to make sure that I don't paint. Currently, I do paint that spot, regardless of whether I can move. However, now, instead of allowing that, I'm going to use an else. I'm going to use a two-way select statement. So, else, if I can move south, so as long as I can move south, I'm going to go to the next row, and then move again. And this should prevent me from actually painting these edges. Let me just check. Paint bordered background. I'm going to flip this over, Control C, Control V, paint bordered background. Let's see what it does. Perfect. Now again, guys, I want to hit upon what this is actually doing. So this is going to meet the criteria. We are using next row. We're using functionality within this class, but we generated a new function. That being said, what I'm telling it to do is right off the bat, I know that I need to get my painter down here. That's what this chunk of code does. This first part is getting the painter there. Once here, I say as long as I can move south. And I'm doing that because I know I want to keep painting until I cannot go south anymore, right? I don't want to paint this row. So as long as I can move south, what do I do immediately? I check that I can move. Because if I am standing here, I can't move and I don't want to paint it. So that's what's preventing me from painting the edges. So if I can move, I can. So I paint the square I'm on, splat, and I move forward 1. Oh, and I should use this 1 move. And I move forward 1. Okay, else, and so else is only triggered if I can move, I must paint this and I must move forward. If will only, the code inside of this if can move, as long as I can move, I will paint and move 1. If this is true, if I'm able to move, these 2 lines will run. The else statement, all of this code will never, ever, cannot run. Right? So if this chunk of code is true, can move, else never runs, it doesn't matter, it skips over this stuff, hits the bottom, and continues repeating. However, if this is false, if I can't move, if I'm standing right here, it says false, it cannot paint or move. That is not allowed. It then must run else. What am I going to do in my else? I'm looking right away if I can move south. So I'm checking because I already know I can't move, I'm like, okay, else has to run then. Can I move south? And if I can move south, I move down 1 row, plop, and move forward 1. And now we have that. So now I need another background painter. Gonna do Control C, Control V, Control V, except I'm gonna call this background painter my head painter, I guess. And then this one will paint the background, but this one, head painter, I need to give it paint. It's gonna paint, well, the head. So I might actually start with this guy. Paint bordered background tan. Oh. Whoops, my head painter. There we go. Typo. Ta-da! And we did it! There's a bunch of functionality to be added still. There's refactoring. I could split this up more. I could make sure that the head painter also can't paint over already existing paint. That's currently not the case. But wow, this is a great chunk of code. I'm going to go ahead. There isn't a test. And, well, I'm just going to touch on the end of 17 and 18 real quick. Do make sure to do your code review. It's important. Make sure to commit your code and be proud of what you have accomplished. This wasn't an easy project. So pat yourself on the back and let's keep learning. Onward.